王鹏、78号孔维利、67号李一楠、71号于乐毅、73号刘海涛、70号郑松、69号盛义晨、76号安东池、72号。第3阶段双败第3轮抽签仪式到此结束，稍后公布运动员比赛场地。
her to hook up in detail in public with her friend. I think a mature feminine woman can keep that to herself and know when to. Alright, first one, learn how to say no. This cannot get overlooked. Men and women, when they exhibit feminine
下面公布运动员的比赛场地：1号台孔德金、孔维利；3号台赵延浩、石汉清；5号台刘俊言、蒋志茂；7号台张勇、管正；9号台王云、郑松；11号台赵汝亮、迈克尔希尔；13号台杨子成、刘海涛；15号台孙源、李一楠。 17号台曹宇鹏、安东池，19号台马良、盛义成，21号台刘宏伟、理查德·哈里德，23号台杜景旺、徐天伟，25号台荣毅、于乐毅，27号台韩洪亮、李岩，TV 2号台令旭飞、史天琪，TV 1号台博俊杰、王鹏。请运动员抓紧时间进入比赛场地检录。1号台孔德金、孔维利，3号台赵延浩、石汉清，5号台刘俊言、蒋志茂，7号台张勇、管正，9号台王云、郑松，11号台赵汝亮、迈克尔希尔，13号台杨子成、刘海涛，15号台孙源、李义南，17号台曹宇鹏、安东池，19号台马良、盛义成，21号台刘宏伟、理查德·哈里德，23号台杜景旺、徐天伟，25号台荣毅、于乐毅，27号台韩洪亮、李岩 ，TV 2号台宁旭飞、史天琪 ，TV 1号台博俊杰、王鹏。
在比赛开始之前，提醒一下场内所有人员，请将您的手机调至为静音或关闭状态。比赛中，请保持赛场安静，场地内禁止吸烟，拍照请关闭闪光灯，谢谢合作。比赛不允许免球，不允许弃权，免球、弃权将被视为违反体育精神的行为，会受到组委会的处罚。欢迎大家来到第4届怀化市旅游发展大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式8球大师赛芷江站的比赛现场。接下来将要进行的是第3阶段败部第3轮65至80场的比赛。下面为大家介绍本场比赛出场的裁判员及运动员。1号台裁判员徐景言，运动员孔德金、孔维利。3号台裁判员张毅，运动员赵延浩、石汉清。5号台裁判员张娜，运动员刘俊言、蒋志茂。7号台裁判员杨俊奇，运动员张勇、管振。9号台裁判员宋明明，运动员王云、郑松。11号台裁判员陆月，运动员赵汝亮，英国选手迈克尔·希尔。13号台裁判员耿思林，运动员杨子成、刘海涛。15号台裁判员袁义群，运动员孙源、李义南。17号台裁判员吕阳，运动员曹宇鹏、安东池。19号台裁判员杨嘉玲，运动员马良、盛义晨。21号台裁判员张路遥，运动员刘宏伟，南非选手理查德·哈里德。23号台裁判员高若飞，运动员杜景旺、徐天伟。25号台裁判员杜立新，运动员荣毅、于乐毅。27号台裁判员田海林，运动员韩洪亮、李岩。TV2号台裁判员张月秋，运动员宁旭飞、史天琪。TV1号台裁判员冯雅琪，记录裁判员柴新峰、刘子威，运动员博俊杰、王鹏。现在比赛开始。
博俊杰你好，王鹏你好，请双方选手争夺开球选择权。预备，3、2、1，开始。博俊杰获得开球选择权。 比赛开始，第一局，博俊杰开球。10秒。5、
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Day 9, Stage 3 here at the 2025 Joy Zhijiang station in China. This is the Division 1 tour. We are in the losers bracket of Stage 3, so these players have lost a match. At the beginning of Stage 3, 64 players down to 32, double elimination. That started yesterday morning at 10 a.m. local time and finishes now. So by the end of this session, we'll know who our last 32 players are in this tournament. This tournament concluding on the 17th of September and the Super Tour starting on the 18th thereafter. Super Tour has the same format as the Grandmasters finals, where international players play each other, Chinese mainland players play each other until the last 32. The Division 1 tour is an open draw, 704 players, and you can literally draw anyone in the field. On the TV table now we have Bo Junjie against Wang Peng. Race to 13, winner break. And so far in this first frame we saw a miss on the stripes from Wang Peng. Didn't expect to see that down to the bottom right corner pocket. And now tactical play from Bo Junjie. Still having 7 balls on the table, has the numerical advantage, 7 versus 2. Usually in this case, the player with the numbers advantage shouldn't lose the frame. And the reason for that is because there are so many balls to play safeties with or to hide the cue ball, so many places on the table to leave the cue ball safe, especially in this situation. If you have a look at the top of the table, is 6-1-3. Huge blocker to the stripes at the bottom of the table. Yeah, good pot on the 4. Little bounce, he should still be on the 6, 6-7-1-3, and then make his way down table. If he does choose to execute the finish now, can leave the 5 as his last ball, land low on the 5, play the black for the right center pocket, the black ball. It's just about navigating his way through the 4 solids that's in that balk area. And that's not the first miss we've seen into that center pocket on this table. Yeah, caught the inside jaw, and once it catches the inside jaw, especially at that pace, that ball is never going in. But because he had those blocker balls at the top of the table, have a look at the position he's left his opponent with. Not much to do. Touch aside to get his 12 ball to the bottom right corner pocket. Yeah, it's there. How's the position? It should be fine. He should be coming into the angle of the 14. And we are currently live on Facebook, Joy World Heyball Tour live page, shared onto the WHT World Heyball Tour page. We're also live on YouTube, World Heyball Tour, and WPA Live.tv. Currently all tables being streamed there as well. For the second session of today at 5 p.m. local time, we will start stage 4, last 32 of this tournament, single elimination down to the final, as we see Wang Peng taking his first frame in this race to 13.
第2局，王鹏开球。
Winner break format now, so Wang Peng is at the table breaking. 7 ball looks good into the center. Looks like the cue ball is just going to stay on the table. Yeah, almost making the 11 as well. Quite a good break. Not the best control of the cue ball. It's not really the place you want it after breaking. For the sake of the first pot, I'd be going solid 3. Get the cue ball back to the middle of the table. Leave yourself with a couple of options, 6-2. The 4 should pass, and that should open up the 1 into the center as well. Well executed pot on the 3 to get the cue ball into the 6 and down table. There is a shot for ball off a ball into the center. That is a slightly bigger pocket into the center if you can kiss off the 13, and I do believe he might be looking at that, but the ball to take would be the 4 based on the incoming angle into the 13. He looks to be, yeah, he was looking at the 1 first. No chance on the 1. So he's just glancing off the 13. Yeah, I'd say he caught that a little bit too thick. Was a good opportunity at getting his first break and run for the match and increasing his lead to 2-0. Now it's just about navigating through
10秒，
10, 15, 13 at the top right of the table. In that scenario, you're not wanting to play the combination. You actually would like to pick them off one by one, at least get the 10 out of the way first. Now he's looking at 9 towards the 10. Is he going to use the inside cushion or go straight for the 10 head on? It's not an easy combination to make, especially with the distance between the two object balls. Went straight for the 10, played it well. He should be on the 13 to the center, if not the 14 to the top left as well. And there we can clearly see that the 13 does pass to the left center. It's an opportunity for him to equalize the match now at 1-1. Yeah, the positive shot. Definitely just 4 stripes left on the table. Can finish up at this end of the table. Leave the 11 as his last connector to the black ball. Black ball passes to the top 3 pockets, left center and both top corners.
，10秒。
He found himself with the opportunity to play the 11 down to the bottom left and just get rid of that as it is on this side of the table. As you can see, the black ball is in the top half of the table. So it does make more sense to get rid of that ball and then finishing his work closer to the black ball. And this black ball to the left center pocket should be 1-1 now as Bo Junjie equalizes.
第2局博俊杰胜，比分1比1。谢谢。 第3局，博俊杰开球。
Ball potted on the break for Bo Zhijiang. One solid into the center. Looks like he's going for the 4 into the right. It looks good. Nicely landing on the 1 ball. Takes care of the 1. If he can manage to get the cue ball into the middle of the table, this could be 2-1 to him. From this angle, hard to tell whether the 7 does pass into the same pocket as the 1. It looks like it should go. If that would be the case, it's not a bad last ball to leave. Yeah, I think he's quite fortunate to not get the glance on the 7 there. Had he just touched that, it would have gone right behind that black ball. Would have made this clearance a lot tougher for him. By the way he plays the next few shots, we'll know whether the 7 does go into the bottom right corner pocket. There's a possibility also to land on the 7 to the center, but that's the gap that you're playing into is so tight. Especially if it does go into the bottom right corner. So if you see him straight on the 5, you'll know that it does go. He's having a look at where he wants the cue ball, so 7 ball must go into the bottom right. Unforced error on the 7 to that bottom right corner pocket. Had a little bit too much angle than he wanted. He's just trying to hold the cue ball, and that's why he hit that slightly thick. Had he actually potted that, the cue ball would have had to drift over a little bit more towards that cushion. Wouldn't have left him a good shot on the black ball. So maybe the right shot there was to force the stun on and off the cushion. And now once again, numerical advantage for Bo Zhijiang. He's at the table currently with that disadvantage, having only 1 ball left against his opponent's 7. And as you can see, using that right now to open up the 12-14 and keep the white relatively safe as well. It's a good contact, but the 7 going behind the black ball means that if Wang Peng leaves the cue ball anywhere, the top end of the table, just like that, needs a bounce on the 10 for it to be available to the center. Got the bounce. So he has left a piece of the 7 open. He'll be looking for the cross bank into the bottom left. But the reason he's left the 7 open is so that he would be freeing up the black ball, which he has done. You're always going to be leaving some type of shot for your opponent. So a decision had to be made whether to go up table now, having the angle, or clear up at the bottom of the table and then play on the 12 last. I have to say, having more object balls on the table and playing for this now is the right shot to play, rather than trying to play on that one solo ball at the top of the table as your last ball, having to get good position on that, and then of course having to get good position on the black as well from there. And that's Wang Peng using the numerical advantage in this frame. It really is so dangerous to miss your last ball or even your second last ball when your opponent still has a full table. Wang Peng takes his second point of the match, leading 2 frames to 1, and so far no break and
全
runs,
乔
no
氏
rack and
是乔
runs.
氏中的乔氏，全国各地区球房的典范。一句全乔氏代表着球房档次、服务、口碑全部到位，有实力，全乔氏。
第4局，王鹏开球。 10秒，延时。10秒，没有延时。5、4、3。第4局王鹏胜，比分3比1，开球清台。谢谢。第5局王鹏开球。
Scoreline after that last frame, 3 frames to 1 for Wang Peng, having a break and run in that previous frame, breaking again. Winners break format can be very dangerous if a player can run a few frames in a row, especially in these medium length races, race to 13. I wouldn't consider it a short race, but neither is it that long. We are used to seeing 21, 23, even 25. So if a player can put together a 2 or 3 pack of break and runs in a race to 13, can change the scoreline very quickly. Potting that 5 ball on the break. Yeah, putting that 5 ball on the break meant that stayed at the table, solids look good, and here you see it. He actually looks good for his second break and run in a row. That would be 4-1 in this race to 13, and you can see how quickly, just taking that frame where he had the numerical advantage, running 2 packs after that. So be careful with this one, playing it with the extension. Cue ball is more than halfway down the table. It's not there. Cued across that cue ball, touch aside on that. It was a great opportunity for him, and now he has the numerical disadvantage. As you see, 6 stripes on the table, 1 solid, and especially where it is currently pretty much dead on that bottom cushion near the Lieber win sign. Bo Junjie coming to the table, so much of freedom, and this is a frame that he should take, and that will help him close that lead and getting 1 away from equalizing this match. The only real problem I see on the table is the 9, which he's played on now. And that would not be the ball that you can leave for last, as getting from there to the black ball is very difficult. Instead, you have the 13, the 14 in that area of the table, making it much easier to gain position after that 9 ball. As you can see, we are playing on the Joy Q8 golden leg steel blocked table. With that, the Lieber win 8848 cloth and the Aramuth Pro Cup balls. It is the best conditions to play the game of Heyball on in the world currently. Yeah, I don't see why he's overqueued the 9. He could have stayed on the 14 even. Both these players just not in tune yet. And I have to say, they are quite lucky that one of them hasn't found a rhythm. Now 3 playing 1, It's still tough for the player with one object ball on the table. I think he might have left a long 14 on. Playing the 14 gives him natural position on the 9 to the center afterwards. But now the 6 more into open play, sitting on that foot spot. We're right behind the cue ball. 14 doesn't go, so he's going to have to take the 9.
延时
Takes his extension as well. Players have 45 seconds per shot and one extension of 30 seconds per frame. It's a tough situation he's currently in. He knows he should have cleared the table at that first visit. That's where you have to focus at the visit in hand and make the most of the opportunity.
10秒。5、
And if this 9 rolls, he's left the pot. Cue ball is very safe indeed, almost glued to that ball cushion, but he's definitely left a piece of that 6 available to Wang Peng, who is currently 3-1 up, and if he can drill this in and go 4-1, it's not there. It is very tough with the cue ball on that ball cushion, but as you can see, would have been on the black ball as well. And surely now, Bo Junjie should make the clearance and get his second point on the scoreboard. And he's almost gone too far with that. Looks good still to the center pocket for his second point in the match, and he gets it. Score is now 3 frames to 2 in favor of Wang Peng in this race to 13.
第6局，博俊杰开球。 10秒。第6局王鹏胜，比分4比2。谢谢。
中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动。在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球69个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。
第7局王鹏开球。10秒，延时。
So rack and run for Wang Peng in the previous frame, now 4-2 up off that dry break from Bo Junjie. And now potting a ball on the break, currently on a break and run of his own. Now he's missed the break and run 2 frames ago. Missing that ball to the bottom left corner pocket, and that cost him the frame when the score should have been 4-1. It was 3-2. So solids once again, just 4 left on the table and things looking quite open. Black ball doesn't pass to the left center. That's a lot of pace in that cue ball. That is not the best shot that he could have played, and he's visibly upset playing that shot. Looks to me like he could have actually lost position. Let's have a look at what's available. I don't think the 3 goes past the 2. 6 doesn't go past the black ball. It's a tough situation he's put himself in.
用了10秒。5、4。
Yeah, poor positional shot from Wang Peng on that clearance on the solids and not able to convert. And that might cost him another point in that lead he has. He's currently leading 4 frames to 2. The thing is, he has been giving opportunities to his opponent, certainly looking stronger with the breaks and also on his clearances. Currently has 1 break and run, 1 rack and run, and his opponent Bo Junjie with just 1 rack and run. But if he can make this clearance, it will be his second. A rack and run is when you are able to clear the table off your opponent's break at your first visit to the table. Yeah, I'd be going for the black ball into the same pocket actually, of 1 cushion. He's controlled the pace really nicely, and this black ball for his 3rd point, and to reduce the deficit to just 1 frame once again. It's there, and the score is now 4-3 in favor of Wang Peng. That was another rack and run for Bu Junjie. So he's currently on 2 rack and runs in total. And that's telling us that his opponent, not breaking dry, but not getting those clearances when he has to.
第8局，博俊杰开球。
8th frame to get underway, and we will be having a 5 to 10 minute player break after this frame. And both players not really here yet, not flowing yet. Oh, he's found the break. That is an absolutely perfect break. 2 balls in straight off the first hit. Have a look at this, into the center pocket, the 10 and the 5. And at first glance, looking like a very open table. Just 1 ball on the cushion. 12 is close as well. Just purely based on the 6 ball, I'd be going stripes, as the 9 does go into the left center. Based on the 6 ball and the opening shot. So in this situation, black ball would be open to all pockets at the top of the table. I'd actually finish up at the top of the table first, come to the bottom, play the 9 into the center as my last ball, and depending on the angle you have, black ball either into the top left or top right corner pocket. He's controlled the cue ball well after that, and this looks good for his first break and run of this match. And that looks to be the route he's going, getting the cue ball back towards the middle of the table off 1 cushion. Will leave himself the 12 to the bottom right. As long as he has a slight angle on that, drift over for the 15 into the same pocket. It's quite a lot of mileage on that cue ball, and he's not perfect on any of them. Does not look like the 15 goes. He's always playing on the 12. He's come a bit far for it, but if this goes in, yeah, perfect. Nice kiss on the 7. Pretty much anywhere on the side of the table for the 9, and he's good, as the black ball does pass into all 4 pockets on that end of the table. Yeah, just drop the 9 into the center, play the black ball for the top right. Actually, the angle looks a little bit steep, but he is able to hold the cue ball and, yeah, perfectly coming into the angle for that black ball. And this would be his first break and run for this match, currently on 2 rack and runs. And it's there, score equalized at 4-all at the 8 frame break. 1 break and run for Bu Junjie. 2 rack and runs, 1 rake and run for Wang Peng, and 1 rack and run.
精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等不例外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。方寸间雕刻，毫厘间相见。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。河北省天一集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
园有枳兮，篱有兰，这里生态优美，山清水秀，五水河畔，光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县，是一座被少数民族侗乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。湖南省100名最美扶贫人物维楚酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，刺葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩。她带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范。助力富民产业与全域旅游、生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的清清民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼。楼高30多米，巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客。荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。维楚酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温馨浪漫的红酒文化之中。维楚酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄。同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节、小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间，人声鼎沸，好评如潮。维楚酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎《侗情芷江》，以浓郁的侗乡文化大餐惊艳呈现。维楚酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、礼的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。维楚有酒，于斯为醉。 中国最美动香酒庄，欢迎您！
我是代言人郑卫国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
I was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa.
“暂停结束，比赛继续。第9局，柏俊杰开球。10秒，延时。
And we are back after the player break. Score 4-all at 8 frames played. Currently in the 9th frame at the table, Wang Peng on solids, and he's hit that thin. Trying to hold for the 5-ball, and these mistakes are creeping in now. From the looks of it, going into the break, Bo Zhijiang with that break and run, he looks like he's starting to calibrate now from being 4-2 down, making it 4-all. And he comes to the table now on stripes. Let's have a look. Problem on the right side of the table, 9 and 13. Yeah, if you would have left an angle on the 11, well, a steeper angle on the 11 to the center pocket, he could attempt to go into them, but the gap between 3 and 7, that's a tough gap to thread. Yeah, he's actually played that shot, but you had to get much closer to the 7 for the side to take into the 9 and 13. And the problem is now with the 6 being where it is and that he's committed to the clearance, he has to go for it. He has absolutely no choice. It does look like the 13 passes the 9. Yeah, that's brilliant cue ball control. Couldn't have placed that better if he had ball in hand. Very clean. So now if the 13 does pass, be taking the 13 first. And what a clearance this would be.
10秒，没有延时。5、4、3。
And that was very close to going in, but as we said, no safe place for the cue ball on the table. He's left these solids open now, 5 solids on the table, 2 stripes. It's not so much about the numerical advantage now, it's where the balls are placed on the table. Seven passes the 13 into the top right. He should be nicely on the 5 with the angle to get down to the 3 as well, and this would be his 5th point. He'll take the lead once again, but it's been a nervy few frames at the start of this match. Currently in the 9th frame. Both players just not playing their best at the moment. Wanted to avoid the cannon into the black ball, and look at where the cue ball has gone now. It's too risky taking the pot on. I'd be putting the cue ball in behind the black ball, putting the 3 into the middle of the table. Here comes the cue ball. It's a little bit pacey. It's come through the gap and it's just sneaked out. Hasn't left anything easy on. I think he'll be coming back to the table with that cue ball close to the ball cushion at least. Was actually playing a two-way shot there, going for the pot as well as trying to get the cue ball as safe as he could. And you can see it's not as close to the ball cushion as he would have wanted. He's left it's a medium distance tough pot though to either corner. The way that 3 was coming towards the pocket, expected it to sneak its way in off the outside jaw. Yeah, that's an excellent pot from Zhijiang. How to make position on that black ball. He has to leave the cue ball just next to the 3. Play the black ball into the opposite corner pocket. And you have to know if he's not right behind the black ball, that is not an easy pot into the bottom left. Yeah, chose against making the position, wanted to actually go into it and release the black ball, but I think he had the perfect angle to just drop in behind it on the right-hand side of the table. In that scenario, I have to say that's, I think, the best outcome he could have hoped for. Especially if he hasn't left the 3 on. Touching ball, it means he still has to actually play onto the 3. So the 3 has to move. And then he still has to make contact with the cushion afterwards for it to be a legal shot. Of course, he doesn't want to open up that pocket for the black ball into the same pocket. Called his extension. It's a tough situation to be in. So excellent shot from his opponent actually in that scenario to get the cue ball that close to the 3. And the referee will be looking at the double touch. I have to say that looks legal. Referee has not called a foul. So legal shot from Wang Peng. In a tough situation now. Doesn't look like the black ball goes to the center, so to the corner pocket. Bottom left. It has to go. It's the kind of shot you miss, you lose. And that's exactly what's happened there. Taking that pot on, you are taking it away from the blocked bottom right corner pocket where the 3 was, and giving your opponent an easy opportunity at getting the point. So once again, Wang Peng will be in the lead, 5-4 up. That's the 9th frame after the break. Very nervy frame, quite a few visits from both players. Both players have not found their flow yet in this match. And we are about halfway, almost halfway through this, in this race to 13.
第10局，王鹏开球。10秒，延时。10秒，5、4、3、2。 10秒。
And that ball is not a ball you usually see missed at this level into the center pocket. Was trying to maneuver the cue ball around the table, but still it's not one that should be missed. And that just goes to the point I was making, that both these players not comfortable in this match. And if you'd like to see pure clinic of a player comfortable in a match and comfortable on the table, just have a look at the live stream from last night. That was day 8, stage 3. China's Dai Yong against Michael Hill from the UK, and that's a match where you really see a player putting on a clinic. Almost faultless was Dai Yong in that match, winning it 13 frames to 5 at 1.12, 2 up. Could really see a player that's comfortable on the table, comfortable with his game, his equipment, and just making everything look so easy and effortless was Dai Yong last night. And definitely with that form, if he keeps going in this tournament, he'll definitely be going very deep. It's already into the last 32. Has a very good chance of making the last 8, last 4, even the final with the form he's in. But I say a top 8 finish definitely on the cards for Dai Yong in that form in this tournament, the Division 1 tour. And the Division 1 tour is an open draw, meaning you are playing against the best international and best Chinese players in the world. And speaking of international players, I believe we have 2 international players left in the tournament. And Mikhail still in with a chance to get to the last 32. He's currently playing against Zhao Ruliang. He's currently 9-4 down on table 11. You can find that stream on wpalive.tv, as well as Richard Halliday, currently 7-3 down against Liu Hongwei, and that is on table 21. It does look like this frame is going to go the way of Wang Peng, getting his 6th point on the board, and he'll be leading 6 frames to 4 in this race to 13. Almost halfway to the finish line is Wang Peng. If you are just joining us, you are watching the live broadcast from the Joy 2025 Zhijiang station here in China. And this is day 9, stage 3, the losers bracket of stage 3. 64 players down to 32 in the stage. We started off this Division 1 tour with 704 players just 9 days ago. And in the first stage, already down to 176 through a double elimination phase of the tournament. And now, after this round, we'll just have 32 players left, which will go into stage 4, which starts later this evening at 5 p.m. local time in China. And that is the last 32 single elimination tournament. So it's pretty much just a straight last 32 draw, except I do believe there is a redraw after every session, or before every session, should I say. Just confirm that in a second. Yeah, draw before each round of matches in stage 4. It's the same with stage 3 as well, and we saw that in stage 3 at the Masters. So you don't have any idea who you are playing until about 20 minutes before the actual match. We have a live draw, which you can see on the stream as well. Players get to turn over a card on the main TV table. And that's the player that they will be playing. Tables will be announced, and stage 4, last 32, will start at 5 p.m. later today, and we'll be here with you on TV Table 1. Your official commentator for this tournament, Raymond Tilak from South Africa. A big thank you to all the viewers around the world for joining us on our live platforms. Currently live on Facebook, Joy Heyball World Tour live page, shared onto the World Heyball Tour page. Also on YouTube, you can catch the day stream on the World Heyball Tour YouTube page, as well as WPAlive.tv, with all the tables currently being streamed there as well.
10秒，延时。
And so far, quite a few recovery shots needed in this clearance from Wang Peng. Just 3 stripes left on the table, but have a look at solids. If he does give his opponent a chance, solids not looking very good. Those 3 balls on the left side of the table, the 4, 6, 7. And as you can see, recovery shot after recovery shot, not getting perfect on the 15, going straight into the black ball. And as you can see, if he can find the potting angle, the 15 does go into the center pocket. I think the only shot he has is to stun on and off the left side cushion after potting the 12. The pot's there. How's the position? It needs to run. And I think he might just make it if he can use a touch of inside English. In this case, it would be bottom left outside. Yeah, just to swerve the cue ball around the black ball and throw the ball in. That black ball for another break and run from Wang Peng. Doing really well thus far. Score 7-4 in favor of Wang Peng. And there you see it, 2 break and runs, 1 rack and run, and 2 rack and runs, 1 break and run for Bo Zhijiang. This is a race to 13, so at the moment Wang Peng closing in on that finish line. So far, he looks to be the more consistent player in this match.
第12局，王鹏开球。
Winners break format, he's back at the table to break. Open hand bridge, ball on the balk line. Makes the 4 into the center. Seems to be able to get a lot of power through that cue ball with minimal amount of effort. Yeah, there was no real first shot on solids, so I had to go the way of stripes. Got the little bunch at the bottom, grouping of 10, 12 and 11. And at the moment, the way they lie, it's only the 10 ball that passes to the pocket, the 9 goes in, but this is an opportunity to run into them. No, he hasn't cheated the pocket enough there. That ball needed to go into the right-hand side of the corner pocket to just slightly widen the angle to come into the 12 and 11.
10秒，延时。
And it does look from the overhead that the 11 does come into the left center just before the black ball. He's made the pot. He has to find a way to either disturb those 2 balls or get behind them. Yep, that's exactly where it pots from, where he is now. Little bounce off the cushion. That's going to be tight whether he has the potting angle. He wanted the cue ball low on the 11, that he didn't have to push through the 12. It's there. And where's the 12 going? It's okay. He wanted to leave the 14 as his last ball. That was the plan. 14 connects really nicely to the black ball, to the left center pocket. But from where the 12 is now, has to take the 14 on. And not only make position on the 12, has to be in a place where he can get back up near the balk area for the black ball. Oh, this is a tester now for Wang Peng. It's there. He's got the position as well. He's just managed to come far enough. Now with the slight angle he has, he could power draw past the 2. Actually, there's hardly any angle on that from this angle, so he has to power draw just straight up, avoid the 1 and the 2. This requires good cueing. And he wants to hit this as full as he can. Avoid the 1. That was the plan, as you can see. By kissing the 1, he has decreased the speed of the cue ball. And that was gonna be another break and run for Wang Peng, but he spotted the cue ball after potting the black ball. So point towards his opponent, score 7-5 now. As we see that again, it was a very fine cut. Cue ball straight into the top right corner pocket. Zhijiang to break, and it looks to be a dry break, so Wang Peng will be back to the table. He's currently leading 7 frames to 5. Should have been 8-4 with 2 consecutive break and runs, but cue ball catching him out in that previous frame off that pot and the black ball, and that's all because of that kiss on the 1 as the cue ball was coming through to make position. The only good thing for him is from just being at the table, he's back at the table again, thanks to the dry break from his opponent. Solids in play. Black ball does pass into the top left. So in this case, the 7 is a nice last ball to take. 1 connects to the 7, 7 to the black ball. Oh, he's come a bit too far. And once again, mistake from Wang Peng. You can dare to say he's not getting the roll of the balls, but he's also making a few unforced errors with his positional play. He's managed to find his way out of that and nicely on the black ball now. Clearance off his opponent's dry break. As Wang Peng takes his 8th point and another rack and run. So 2 break and runs, 2 rack and runs, 4 clearances out of 8, and just 1 break and run, 2 rack and runs for Bo Zhijiang. Score is currently 8 frames to 5 in this race to 13.
第14局，王鹏开球。10秒，延时。10秒。5、
And in this frame, we've seen Wang Peng choose not to go for the clearance, playing the 2 out from off the cushion, putting the cue ball in a relatively safe position, not letting his opponent have an easy shot. So this is going to be a slight tactical frame, and these are the ones that you want to win. At this level, almost every player can run out an easy frame. All the balls are in open play. It comes down to these.
5、4、3。
Yeah, these tactical battles, those are the frames to win, and especially currently up as Wang Peng is 8-5. This is a big frame now. Difference between 9-5 and 8-6. 9-5 means It's 4 frames away from his opponent and 4 frames away from the finish line as well, as this is a race to 13. It's interesting. One ball doesn't look like it passes the 13 into the top left, but it will go into the top right. Has the 5 and the 2 to connect to it on the left side of the table. Oh, he's going to tie up the 3. In terms of cue ball positioning, it's a very good shot, but tying up the 3 was not part of the plan. Now that 3-6 could be set as a combination to the bottom right. Does look like he's going for it now, playing the 2 into the 1. A shot like that, you are hoping for a touch of good fortune. A really nice pot on the combination, and as you can see, that had to go. Otherwise the next shot would have been 14 onto that ball and he would have been in trouble. And that is a legal shot in the game of Heyball. You can pot your opponent's ball as long as you make contact with your object ball first. But now the finish is on. Doesn't want to be straight anywhere but straight. Oh, this is a good shot. This is a good shot if he can clear the stripes. That is a beautiful shot off almost 2 cushions, deep screw, and that's not an easy shot as well to play it at that pace. Gotta really know what you're doing. Nice little bump on the 1, but has it gone too far? As you see the shot again, watch it coming off the ball cushion, but aside to just swing it into the 1, pushes the 1 off the cushion, and that is a very, very close. We did see him cut that black ball in earlier, but he's going for the indirect off the cushion. Have a look at this. It's gonna be close. It's close. It's there. Where's the cue ball though? That was the only thing I was worried about with that shot. Making the pot was one thing, but if you didn't hit it dead on, that was always going to be happening. Managed to make contact, legal shot on the black ball, but I don't see a way for him to win this frame now, and all that hard work, especially early in the frame, securing score currently 8 frames to 5 to Wang Peng. Bo Junjie at the table with a relatively easier clearance to get his 6th point on the board. Once again, not letting his opponent get away with a big lead. But it's not like Wang Peng hasn't had the opportunities. He definitely has to try and go further into the lead and get closer to that finish line in this race to 13. And not perfect on this black ball. Didn't have the right angle on that connector. Important shot though, difference between 9-5 and 8-6. It's there. Bo Junjie takes his 6th point, capitalizes on that mistake from Wang Peng, and the score is 8-6 in this race to 13. Must-win match currently, double elimination stage, but both these players have taken 1 loss. So it is a must-win to stay in the tournament and qualify for the last 32 stage 4.
第15局，博俊杰开球。
And so far, I would say the reason for the lead for Wang Peng is the dry breaks from Bo Junjie. Is not able to utilize the chance that he's getting to break after winning those frames in this winner break format. And his break is so wide open, as you can see. His break is actually favoring his incoming opponent at the table, and it's costing him. And it's these frames that have gone the quickest, the frames off his dry breaks for Wang Peng. Wang Peng currently on 2 rack and runs, 2 break and runs, and it's looking like a 3rd rack and run here for him. Slight decel on that cue ball from Wang Peng, not wanting to overhit that, but hasn't managed to get the side to grab off the cushion. So it's not the easiest 9-ball to the corner pocket. It's good though, no problem with that. And he seems to enjoy his opponent's dry breaks, making light work of this as he sets up to take his 9th point in this match. One step closer to that race to 13 number, and it's there. 9-6 to Wang Peng, another rack and run for him. 3 rack and runs, 2 break and runs for Wang Peng. 1 break and run, 2 rack and runs for Bo Zhijiang.
是我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
H153走球更到位。
10秒。5、4。
And this time it's the other way around. Bo Xinjie capitalizes off Wang Peng's dry break to take another rack and run for himself and his 7th point in the match. So that's 3 rack and runs. Bo Xinjie, 1 break and run for him. And that is 16 frames played. We will be back after the break.
精彩比赛马上开始。好球杆最难的不是木料、设计和工艺，而是对运动的理解、对力学的研究和对运动者经验大数据的采集与处理。LP 以一颗匠心，超过30年的经验累积，全世界数百万使用者的反馈数据，懂球，懂力，更懂你。
俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天耀球杆，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯，掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒面压，严格质检。世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，以专业缔造不凡。
方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌，成木质之美， 雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，这我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
H153走球更到位。
暂停结束，比赛继续。第17局，博俊杰开球。10秒，延时。10秒。
And we are back from that player break, and as you can see, Wang Peng at the table looking good to take his 10th frame, and this would be a rack and run off his opponent's break. And I have to say, it's the dry breaks from Bo Xinjie costing him in this match thus far, as the score is now 10-7 to Wang Peng in this race to 13. And there we have the statistics: 4 rack and runs for Wang Peng, 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs, 1 break and run for Bo Xinjie. And that tells the story of, well, both players going for the clearance off the break. The rack and runs we see from Bo Xinjie has been because of the clearances that Wang Peng has tried to take on but missed the last ball or the second last ball. And in contrary to that, the rack and runs that he has taken has been off the dry breaks from Bo Xinjie. And I don't think anything's in on that break. Wang Peng currently leading 10 frames to 7. He's been breaking really well in this match. I would say 80 to 90% pot rate off the break for him. High contrast to his opponent's breaking, which has been around the 20% mark. And at this level, you are not going to get away with that. And that's the reason we see the scoreline that we currently see.
10秒，延时。10秒。5、4。
Yeah, that's an excellent recovery shot, taking on that combination. Quite a bit of distance between the cue ball and object ball, and also needed to catch the 6 quite fine to get that in. Done really well to recover from there, but it's not easy yet. Yeah, what he could do with this, he could go 4, 6, 5 in the center, roll through on the 6 and play that 5 for the right center, black ball for the top right corner pocket. And when you factor in the ball advantage situation, especially when you look at it 7 playing 2 or 7 playing 1. By this time in the finish, you have to be fully committed now. Just 2 balls left on the table. No matter what shot you have left yourself to take at this point, you have to take it. Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. Fully committed. He played it positively, but he did not play that well. As you can see, would have been nicely on the 5 though. The 10's in, and we are back at the situation now. 6 balls playing 2. If you can get the cue ball onto the right, bottom right side of the table on our screen, would have access to the 13 and 9 into the bottom left. He's coming and having a look at it from that angle. That's where he has to be. He's left himself nicely on the 12 to get the cue ball there. He overruns it, he's on the 9 and 15. He underruns it, he's on the 13. So you're pretty much playing into an area. And that's almost perfect from Wang Peng. He wants to be on the right hand side of the 5 to play the black into the top right. It'd be too dangerous to try and get the cue ball into balk, as the black ball is available from this side of the table. And with a shot like that, you are playing to underrun rather than overrun, as if you are overrunning that, you are behind the 5. So he's left it on, and this black ball for 11-7. And it's there, 11-7, another rack and run for Wang Peng. And having won that previous frame, Wang Peng breaking. And cue ball straight in on that break, but look at that break, how many balls spotted. And it's just the black ball that looks like it's on the cushion.
线后自由球。
He's able to generate quite a lot of power without having to hit so hard. Looking quite effortless the way Wang Peng is breaking in this match. So cue ball in hand behind the balk line. Score is currently 11-7 in favor of Wang Peng.
10秒，延时。
And not getting the best cue ball out of that opening shot. He has secured stripes. Zhijiang. Yeah, that was end of run. However, he's done well to leave the cue ball where it is.
10秒，延时。
Calling his extension. This is a tough shot at the moment because anywhere he leaves the cue ball, he's most likely leaving a stripe on. Yeah, he's taken the 5 into the stripe and also at the same time tried to disturb, make something happen. Look, it's not worked out that badly. He hasn't left. Yeah, he actually hasn't. If you have a look at the shot again, he's taken the 10 out. He's also moved another stripe. And at the moment, looking at the table, I don't see a potable stripe. It's a fine cut on the 14, but the double is also there, the bank to the opposite center pocket. Yeah, it's there, and he's got it, and he's also released the black ball. That's worked out really well for Zhijiang. Yeah, nicely done. If he can just find a good pattern and pick these off, should have his 8th point in this match. You're slightly over on that one, or you can say underrun as well. Not getting the biggest bounce off the bottom cushion on our side of the table. Has to find a way to hold for the black ball in the opposite corner pocket. Yeah, held that cue ball really nicely. Zhijiang looks good to take his 8th point and reduce that lead once again. He will be breaking in the next frame if this goes in. And it does. 11-8 now in this race to 13. And after this tournament, we have the Superstation starting on the 18th, as well as the Champions of Champions. That will be in Brisbane, Australia from the 18th to the 21st. Once again, another great international event hosted by Joy, WPA and Libo Win. You can find more information about that on the WHT World Heyball Tour Facebook page. You can actually see some images already up. The Joy staff landing in Brisbane, ready to set up the venue. We will have 38 tables in Australia, and if you are interested to buy one of these steel block golden leg Q8 tables, the exact same table you see on your screen, you can contact Joy staff directly on the WHT page and Doris Cheng as well. If you have been on our Facebook page, you would see quite a few posts from Doris Cheng, quite active on Facebook. And she is the person to contact if you are looking to purchase one of these beautiful Q8 golden leg steel block table Heyball tables. The best conditions to play this game on internationally at the moment is the Joy Q8. Yeah, the tournament in Australia, the 2025 Heyball Champions of Champions, $400,000 total prize fund featuring 64 men and 64 women. So those are the champions from across the globe. And it will be taking part at the Brisbane Convention and Exhibition Centre. All matches will be streamed live on WPAlive.tv as well as our Joy Facebook pages. And in this match, once again, it's looking like a dry break from Bo Jinji is going to cost him. And as he miscued slightly, Wang Peng, that didn't sound that great on that shot. I think he should be still all right for the black ball in the center pocket. As you can see, he's just checking that tip. Yeah, it looks like it does go to the left center. And it's there as he gets his 12th point on the board. And Wang Peng has just been capitalizing on those breaks, getting a good break of his own with 2 break and runs thus far. But the story of this match is capitalizing on the dry breaks from his opponent, Bo Jinji.
第21局，王鹏开球。
Wang Peng to break, currently on the hill in this race to 13 match. And he has been breaking really well. Minimal effort, but he's getting a good split. Usually making a ball 70 to 80% of the time. And it looked like the 9 ball was heading for the center. Not in this time. And Bo Jinji will come to the table. I feel unfortunate to not make a ball on that break. Hit them really well. The scoreline currently 12 frames to 8. Statistics for Wang Peng, 2 break and runs, 5 rack and runs. And for Bo Jinji, 1 break and run, 3 rack and runs out of his 8 points. He's gone for solids. He's missed the 1 into the center. And Wang Peng quickly back to the table after that dry break as we see that 1 ball again clipping the inside jaw, just going over the center pocket. Wang Peng using his extension. Cue ball currently tight on this cushion. It's a tough shot to take on. It's there. Oh, that is an absolutely amazing pot on the 3 ball to the right center. He's played on the 4, has to take it now. And looking at where the black ball currently is, I would say the 1 ball is a nice connector to it, as he'll just be dropping in behind the black ball. The angle he has now, he could play onto the 5, run through for the 7 and 6. There we go, a little bounce. Yeah, that's almost perfect on the 5, but he would have liked a slight angle at least. I just have to drop this in. From here we can't see whether the 6 passes the 7, but if he does go far enough, 7 definitely available into that top right corner pocket. Oh, and he's missed the 5. I think he's tried to sneak a little bit of an angle off that 5, but he was perfectly straight on it. And not able to close out this match. Score currently 12 frames to 8 to Wang Peng.
10秒。
Oh, and what an opportunity that was for Bo Xinjie to get his 9th point and try and make a comeback in this match. And at the beginning of this match, it looked like both players were struggling, not able to find their form. But of the two players, the more consistent player has been Wang Peng, who is currently in the lead, currently on the hill. And this match is for a place in the last 32 of the Zhijiang Division 1 station. At last 32 will be starting at 5 p.m. tonight local time, stage 4 of this tournament, single elimination, 32 player draw and redraw before each match. So in doing that, gaining a huge advantage, taking the 1 off the table, and now 7 versus 1. And that is ball in hand. Try to spin off the cushion to try and clip it. So he just has to be wary of where he's leaving the cue ball. That's not bad with the cue ball positioning at least. He wanted to have both those balls out in open play. However, the 10 getting stuck near the cushion as well now. Trying to go around 2 cushions to get to the 6, not successful. Foul given away again by Wang Peng. And the problem that Bo Xinjie is having at the moment is he has to have all his balls in open play before he opens the 6-15. So that's why he's going once again for the ball on the rail. And if he can get ball in hand again, then he'll play the 15 and snooker, try and get ball in hand again and then go for the clearance. that's not too bad, but I don't think he's going to be getting ball in hand after this, and the 6 could go in off the 14, but to get to it is the problem.
犯规。自由球。
Foul once again, and this time the 6 going and tying up the black ball. So that's why with this ball in hand, play the 9, open up the black ball. And that's okay. Black ball does pot from where the 11 is. So, do you want to take the 11 now, or rather play the 13 down to the top left corner pocket? Yeah, that's why deciding to leave the 11 for last was the right decision. And this black ball to take his 9th point in this match. It's there. Bo Zhenjie takes his 9th point. Still down 12 frames to 9. And he will be breaking in the next frame.
轩辕、赤霄、龙渊、干将、默邪、纯君、成瘾，引领市场，肯定未来，林肯球杆。
第22局，博俊杰开球。
What a time to find your break for Bo Zhenjie. 12, 9 down. Oh, the real powerhouse of a break. The only problem is it doesn't look like he has anything that easy straight off the bat. I feel he has to go the way of solids and either take the 2 or the 4 first. Yeah, really excellent so far. That good break, managing to get the 4 in, releasing the 6 as well. He just has to be able to land on the 2 after taking the 6 and 3. 7's right there near the black ball. He's close to his work. What a time to find a piece of form. Yeah, that's all right. I think you would have preferred to be slightly straighter on that 2 ball, but it's okay. Be able to hold for the 7 into the opposite corner pocket. We'll still have the angle on the 7 to just stun up for the black ball in the same pocket as the 2. And really the timing to find his break, find his form in this match. And that is 12-10. Makes Bo Zhenjie has another break and run added to his name now. 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs, and 2 break and runs, 5 rack and runs for Wang Peng. And Bo Zhenjie will be breaking in the next frame as well, as this is a winner's break format. And the score is currently 12 frames to 10.
第23局，博俊杰开球。
And the position he's in currently, it's a no mistake position. Can't afford even 1 mistake. Made a ball on the break again. Yeah, that had to go. Wasn't the easiest of combinations to take on, but look at the table, 5-3. It's all there. You can go 7, get onto closer to the left side, take the 1 next, he's on the 5. Just so many options at the moment with the layout currently.
10秒，延时。
Decided to take his extension. As we said, this is a no mistake time for Zhijiang. Currently 12-10 down in this race to 13. Yeah, I'd be taking on the 6 now. The 6 does pass the 14. It's time to take the 6. Can't afford to lose the cue ball, taking the 5. That's why he played the 1 the way that he did. He had the 6 as a recovery. Yeah, cueing the ball well now is Zhijiang. Yeah, I would go 2-5-3, black ball in the bottom right corner pocket. This will be his 3rd break and run for the match and 2nd consecutive break and run. And it's looking good for Zhijiang. Found his break, found some form. And this man in his chair, Wang Peng, just 1 frame away from victory, but on the table and making these break and runs is Zhijiang. 2nd consecutive break and run, and if he can make it 12 all, he'll force another player break and force the decider as well. Score currently 12-11 in favor of Wang Peng. And there you see it, 3 break and runs, 3 rack and runs for Zhijiang, 2 break and runs, 5 rack and runs for Wang Peng. Yeah, he's been breaking really well towards this end of the match, and luckily he's found his break. That looks like a Predator BK Rush with the sport wrap. It looks like the Predator break cues are the choice of most of the top Chinese players as well. I don't see a ball in. I don't see a ball in. The 3 and the 5 colliding just outside the left center. So for the first time in 2 racks, Wang Peng to the table with the chance to close out this match. What does he have available? He's taking the 1 to the bottom right.
5、4、
It's there. But have a look at this table. Yes, solids are better than stripes. But look at where the black ball is, the 2 as well. It's a lot of work to do in this frame. And he's missed the 3 into the bottom left corner pocket. Yeah, the 12 ball is still tied up at the moment. It's not an easy table at all. He's looking to play the 15 onto the 3. And he's got the double drop and the position on the 12. What a shot that is. Now, which ball can he see as he's next? The only one I see is the 14 at the top. And look at the gap that he needs to play for, the gap between 8 and 9. So pretty much to the left of where the cue ball currently is, because you don't want to be hampered by the 6. But of course the pot has to go as well. Oh, what a pot that is. At that time in a match to play that shot like that. If this goes in and he lands on a stripe, he is a massive favorite to force a decider in this match now, is Bo Jinjie, as he has the momentum with him as well. There's 2 consecutive break-in runs helping him to close that scoreline. And the roll of the balls are not there. I've not seen hardly any good rolls in this match for either player. Rare you see that. Didn't really have much else to do with that 2 ball, did Wang Peng. And now it looks like Bo Jinjie is going to attack this. He's looking to get the 9 out and the black ball. He's got the black ball out. He's 3 pots away from being on that black ball and forcing a decider in this match. good pot on the 13. He's left himself on the 9. Cue ball midway down the table. He should be able to reach this fine. If he gets this, he has become a massive favorite to win this match. And how close was that? Unbelievable. Had the position on the 11 afterwards, and that was a sure frame winner if that 9 went in. Wang Peng at the table now, currently leading 12 frames to 11 in this race to 13. And this is for a place in the last 32. It's a must-win match to get into stage 4. Loser of this match is out of the tournament. He's just 3 pots away now from booking his spot into that last 32 stage 4 single elimination phase of this tournament, straight down to the final. Needs a nice bounce coming into the 2. That's not perfect. It's there. It's there, and surely now, this black ball being there, opponent comes to concede. Wang Peng defeats Bo Xinjie 13 frames to 11. He doesn't look like he's too happy with his performance. Both players taking long to get going in this match, but your victor and into last 32 is Wang Peng from China. I'm your commentator, Raymond Tilak from South Africa, and we will be back at 5 p.m. this evening, local time in China, for stage 4, last 32 of this tournament.
中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动。在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球69个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。
冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过逍遥日子。